Let's say good morning to our guest. Tuesdays with Tim, it seems. Tim Guerino from the Mission. Good morning, Tim. Good to have you back here again, Pastor.
And thanks for having me. And it's very cold out there, and we're servicing a lot of folks right now. Our place was very busy last night, checking in a lot of new folks, getting them out of the cold. We do a lot of housing right now. A lot of coffee goes out. During the day, people can come in and take care of getting out of the cold and getting help. All kinds of stuff we do right now. I think we're serving about 600 cups of coffee a day right now or more. It's just so cold. They get to come in. We have the coffee out. We have snacks out. They get to come in. As soon as we reset the tables, they go from the foyer to the dining hall. They could sit there, stay warm. We have quite a few people, anywhere from 25 to 30 people come in before even the meal even gets close to starting to get warm, get off the streets. It has been really a blessing to be able to take care of that and do that for people because it's cold. I mean, it's like 14, 15 degrees out right now. It just depends where it's at.
Do folks have to leave at some point along the way during the day, Tim, or can they stay all day?
No, they can stay all day. They can stay all day, and then we have shelter for the guys. We had a lot of guys stay last night that normally don't stay, which was a blessing. We spent time talking to the guys as we're drinking coffee, convincing them to stay. A lot of them stayed last night. Our women's shelter up there last night got full in Berkeley Springs. We have 9 women up there now. Our apartments, our Haven House for the families is full. I wish we had more. I wish we had more for the ladies. In fact, we're in the process of doing something for that.
Why don't we have more? Like, you can fit hundreds of men in your facility, but you say, well, we got 9 women in this facility. Are women not homeless as much as men?
No, they are. It's just that it's kind of a later trend in society. The men always been homeless for many, many decades, and so men were the ones that they housed and took care of. I would say within the last 30 years, women's numbers have risen because of all the drug addiction and everything else that's going on. So we see more women and children. The lack of, one of the things you've talked about for the longest time, the lack of male role leadership in homes, where men have abandoned the women and just walked away and let the women raise the kids and support and stuff. And you've talked about that quite a bit. I know I have talked about that quite a bit. It's very important to have that male leadership, that male role present. And when it's not, this is what you see. You see women and children vulnerable. You see women and children homeless. You see women and children on the streets, and we're there to take care of them. We are working on something to expand that. I can't say anything yet because nothing's for sure. I don't want to say anything until it's for sure. But we are working on that, just like our warehouse. We are working on that. The warehouse plans are before the city right now to expand that to 7,200 square foot to build, and that's going to help us with the recycling and all that stuff. For example, last month we served over 11,000 meals. Last month, the total for the year so far, and it's more than this, it's just as of November 30th, was 113, almost 114,000 meals we've served for the year so far. How many clothing vouchers? This is people that we give clothes away. A lot of people don't think we give clothes away. You know, Matt, we give a lot of clothes away. So far for the year, 3,000 adults have received free clothing, 730 children, and about 500 families. Now, each person can get up to about 10 to 12 pieces of article of clothing along with shoes. So we don't count all the articles of clothing. It would be a lot. But just to tell you how much we do and how much we give away, furniture vouchers, we've given away to 31 families so far for furniture. Our employment program, how many people we've helped get employed this year outside the mission is 170 men and women that have gotten jobs outside the rescue mission.
That's great.
Yeah, and of course, like you met Harvey, that kind of stuff. That's we consider that a job. We helped him get a job.
He's a Marine. Yeah,
he's a Marine. It's a career. But I mean, stuff like that. We just got guys hired on at 3 different warehouses locally, and you could guess which ones they are. Good jobs. They start off working hard and good jobs. So we do this, and the ladies up in Berkeley Springs, 2 of them just got jobs up there. So we're doing that kind of stuff along with housing people in the cold weather. And we had a tough it's been a tough year for us financially, but the Lord's blessed us. So far we're in the black. We'd like to end the year in the black. So if you can donate, go online to MartinsburgUnionRescueMission.com and hit the donate button. Every little bit will help right now, because we are full with all kinds of requests and needs and stuff. But I'll stop if you guys have a question, because I could go on. I got to learn to be quiet.
Do we see a lot or any homeless, unaccompanied children?
I don't. We don't do that, because if they're unaccompanied, they got to go through the system, and we don't take anybody under 18. Now we do if they come in with mom and dad over at the family shelter. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do take kids and children over there, but no, I've never seen unaccompanied children. I have never seen. Doesn't mean that there's not.
Right. And Are you finding people wandering from the camps that we've talked about? Is this time of year that with this weather, are you suddenly becoming an attractive place for them? Are you having a lot of walk-ins?
We had 4 last night from the camp stay with us. Yeah, because usually when it gets down in the teens or in the single digits, they'll come in.
But they're not going to be tested. I mean, they're going to be clean and sober, right? You're just giving them a place to.
Yeah, we just give them. There's a lot of things we'll drop down for this kind of cold weather. Mm-hmm. We're not going to get on them about it. We do have to test them though, because if they come in and they're on certain stuff, we have to make sure they don't overdose. So we don't stop them from coming in, but we do test them, and they comply. Everybody complies. They'll even say to us, "Hey, I'm using." Okay, that's fine. We still got to test you, because we got to make sure there's no fentanyl in your system, cocaine. I mean, it's like the whole the whole joke out there is, well, they're not bringing fentanyl, and they're bringing cocaine. Well, you can die from cocaine. A lot of people.
Many bias, right?
Yeah, a lot of people are dying from cocaine out there, overdoses and stuff. In fact, cocaine is making a comeback every time about 99% of the people we're testing now that we test coming in test positive for cocaine.
Well, speaking on behalf of the Sinaloa cartel, that's wonderful news, right?
Yes, yeah.
By the way, John, you brought up homelessness among youth, and that's a good question for today, because in the interim sessions going on now in Charleston, there was actually a hearing about that. They took some testimony, and these stats came out of that hearing. Nationally, 1.4 million youths face homelessness, and in West Virginia, 15,101 students experience homelessness. Now, it doesn't say unaccompanied, but those are the general numbers for kids who are homeless in the country and the state.
And a lot of those numbers they get, like Hal Van Meter would be a good person to talk to about that, because that's through the school system, and they go couch surfing, and they go from home to home.
Is a kid living with grandma homeless, or is he living with grandma?
You would have to ask. I don't count it that. I mean, you'd have to ask Hal. Hal would be a better person on that one.
And do we also see a spike in overdoses during this kind of weather?
We do. I mean, there's an alert system that I'm plugged into. I see it every weekend. It pops up on my phone. It gives the different counties that there's a spike of overdoses and stuff like that. So, yes, I would say yes, it happens. And again, a lot of it's this time of year is also very depressing for a lot of people. So they get on drugs to fight the depression, but then they overdose. So there's it's a good time of the year. It's a happy time of the year, but for a lot of people, it's also a very sad time of the year.
There's also a misperception. Listen, people out there, that booze that you think makes you feel warmer actually is really bad for you.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
In cold weather.
Yeah, we had a guy come in the other night from the hospital. He came in with the paperwork. He had frostbite and everything. He stayed with us for about 2 nights and then got his check and then went back out. We tried to explain to him, getting intoxicated, you might feel warm, but it's not good for your body. That's what happens. Right. And that's exactly what happened to him. So the more he drank, the warmer he got, but in all actuality, the frostbite and everything he got. So it's dangerous, and we're out there doing what we can. We're inviting people in. It's a lot of fun at the mission. We got people coming in, a lot of snacks and stuff, coffee. We get to talk to a lot of people at this time of the year. As they come in, they're open. They're open to hear. They're open to talk to us. I'll tell you a story. I was telling him in there. I was talking to somebody at one of the medium strips. He was a panhandler, and I was talking to him. I'm not going to say where because you would know where. And as I'm standing there talking to him, a car pulled up and beeped the horn, and pointed to me and said, "Come on over." And I went over to the lady, and she rolled her window down, and she handed me a $5 bill. She says, I hope this helps you." I went home and told my wife that. I was laughing. My wife said it must have been the beard.
You need to dress better, buddy.
Yeah. And the guy that I was talking to, he's jokingly going, "Are you going to take my spot now?" So
You should have said $10 would help more.
yeah. So I mean, I was only out there for a couple minutes. I made $5. I was thinking, and that was before Thanksgiving too. So I thought, hey, Christmas is coming. I'm out staying out there, make some money for the mission. But no, it's
A fundraiser.
It's that time of the year. But I mean, I things like that. It's just ironic. Things like that happen to me all the time, and some neat stuff. But we're out there doing what we can, and we're blessed. Feeding the people. We see a lot more families. You're asking one thing. We see a lot more women coming in with children, families coming in with children, grandparents coming in with children. They're raising their kids' children. We have a lot of that too. So we see a lot of that. But
coming in for meals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially towards the middle and the end of the month, the numbers go up. Well, we're blessed, and we're very thankful to the community that has blessed us and taken care of us. And we just see a lot of great things taking place, and we're just the people are out there taking care of the mission, providing, and it's just been. We have had a lot of volunteers come in, take over the kitchen, do that kind of stuff. The lady that did your party, she's going to come and she wanted to do one for us. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, so she's going to come down and do one for us also.
She studied the Cordon Bleu in Paris. So.
Yeah. Oh no, she's so she's and people make fun of the mission food. I'm like that day when she comes, I'm going to tell them, hey, don't come, it's no good. But so we've had a lot of people come in, different groups, different families, different organizations come in. We have what we call take a meal for the day, and they do that. It's been really neat. It's been eye-opening for a lot of people. We had a group that came in the other day. I'm not going to say where they're from, but they're a company, and a lot of the people got to meet our folks and we gave them a tour. They were shocked as much as we did down there, especially all the recycling and all that stuff. They didn't even know. All they thought is that we just fed them food and gave them a bed, and that was it. And they had no idea all the stuff we did. So they were very shocked, and they were very open to do more because of all the stuff that we do. So it's exciting to see that kind of happen.
Tim, not to get too personal in anything, but like you mentioned being there in a meeting and you're talking with someone. What is that conversation generally like?
Well, this guy, I got a phone call, and we've talked about this before. I'll get phone calls, and then I'll go out, and if I can, I can go out and talk to the person.
Go get your people, I think is what they say.
Yeah,
right?
they say I'm the mayor of the homeless community. I keep saying, no, that's Kevin, that's not me. No. So I pull up and I park in McDonald's. Well, now you know where I was. I park in McDonald's, and I walk across over to the medium, and he sees me coming, and he knows me, and I'll say, hey brother, what's going on? And I'll say, hey, I got a call, make sure you check on you. Do you need anything? And of course, no, I'm fine, and everything like that. And like I said, as I'm standing there, the lady beats her horn, points to me and tells me to come on over. But I'll talk to them. I'll stand there and say, look, do you need anything? If I can help you out with anything. And they give excuses like, well, I have a dog. Okay, you can bring your dog in. And then they'll go, I can? Yeah, you bring your dog in. Well, the guy that runs the place says I can't. I said, well, I think I know that guy. I think you can bring your dog in. And so I eliminate all the excuses. Right. And then what it comes down to is I don't want to follow any rules. Okay. So be honest about that. Don't stand out here telling people that the mission won't take you. The mission won't take your dog. The mission won't do this. The mission won't do that. So kind of challenge them in accountability. Right. If you want to, it's a free country. You want to do that, that's fine. But don't make other people seem heartless because you don't want to improve yourself and make it out to be as though everybody else is against me and I got to be out here doing this, because you really don't. And we got some great success stories to talk about. Next year I'll bring in some folks that have really done well and have gotten jobs and is really doing really well. Lenny went bowling down in Charleston, got a bunch of gold medals.
Yeah.
With the Special Olympics doing really well. So there's a lot of things. But again, it's a free country. If that's what you want to do, then be honest about it. But stop. Go ahead.
What's the capacity at the mission?
We can house up to 85 guys or 120 in bad weather. So right now it would be considered extreme weather.
So when you're full and the full plus one shows up,
we get the cots out and open up the chapel.
So you're never really full.
Nope, never,
Okay.
never. That's why when people will say to me, they'll call me up and say, "Well, I was told you're full." When? I missed that one.
Yeah.
Another excuse eliminated.
Another excuse. Yeah. You make people get a haircut. Really? Have you seen some of our people? I'd love to get them a haircut, but I mean, it's those things, and then people believe that. Here's the sad part: is people believe that we're that kind of, militant in the sense of, they won't let me do this, they won't let me do that. No, you can walk out the door anytime. We're not going to. It's just that kind of stuff. I mean, and just like when he's saying to me, well, the guy that runs the mission won't let my dog there. No, we have 2 dogs there, 2 service dogs there. We have Lenny has his dog, and we have another gentleman that has his dog. If the dog doesn't bite and his dog doesn't bite, I know his dog. It doesn't bite. It's not aggressive. It can be there. They take care of it, and they're responsible for that dog. No, the dog can stay. In fact, it's actually the good dogs that are not aggressive and don't bite are very therapeutic for everybody.
The guy that runs the mission needs to be more public, needs to not to be as shy as he is. I think that's the problem.
Yeah. Well, I think what surprises them is the guy that runs the mission is actually out there on the medium getting $5 from somebody and talking to him.
What'd you do with the $5? Did you give it to the guy or did you take it to the mission?
I took it to the mission.
Okay.
I figured, hey, if I'm going to be out here, I'm on mission time, I'll take the money back. We have a donation box, so I walked in and put it in the donation box. Yeah.
Tell us a little more then about the program itself. So someone, like you talked to this gentleman in the median, and, he finally says, you know what, I need what you've got. And now comes to the mission, not just for a meal, not just to maybe spend one night because it's really cold, but says, I need to be here and help get some things turned around. What happens then? How does that process work?
They come in, they do the intake, and then from there they stay 7 days in the guest status of B dorm. And in those 7 days, they get exposed to everything at the mission, from work schedule to classes to chapel to discipleship to the we make sure that medically and physically they're okay, because a lot of these folks coming in have abused their body or neglected their body for so long. Teeth-wise, we check all that. And then if there's stuff like that needs to be done, we get them plugged into the doctors, to the hospitals, to the dentist, to whatever needs to be done. And then they keep going forward from there. They get put on a work schedule. If they're clean and sober, if they come in clean and sober, they can get out and get a job right away. If they don't come in clean and sober, they have to stay with us 60 days clean and sober before they can go out and get a job. Because the longer you stay clean and sober, the better chances is when you get that first paycheck that you're going to stay clean and sober and not take that first paycheck and run out and get high or get drunk again. So it's a process like that. And we had, actually the last week, we've had 2 guys that have basically come in and basically have said, I'm tired of what I'm doing. I want to get in the program. And they've been with us now for that amount of time and doing well, actually doing very well. And the one guy came in clean and sober and probably will get a job soon. We got a bunch of guys, they had a job fair at the Holiday Inn just recently. Several of our guys got jobs that day, and they'll be starting work the end of this week and next week. So we get them out there right away, get jobs, do those kind of things. Same with the ladies. It's so important that happens, because if they're sitting around doing nothing, which doesn't happen at the mission because they either work inside or outside, that's when trouble happens. They get bored, they go back to their same circumstances, they go back to their same friends, they go back to the same situation they're in, and usually there's drugs and alcohol in it, and they get caught back up in it again.
Is a criminal past a common denominator with people who live at the mission?
Honestly,
not across the board, but
no, it's a high percentage. It's a high. I would say close to 85% or more.
Okay.
Yeah, and it could vary from misdemeanor to felony. We get people that come to us from they come out of federal penitentiary, or they come out of the jail. Or they're sent to us by their probation officer or whatever. I would say good 85% or more. Yes, even among the females. Yes.
And what we hear about where everybody is one paycheck away from homelessness is the cliche, and I don't know, it might be true. I don't know. Do you have those people, that professionals who just had a bad patch and made a bad investment and they lost it and they had to give up their home and therefore they are with you? Is that?
Yes, that and a bad relationship, or they lost a loved one. We had, over my time, I've met several gentlemen that lost their spouses, and it just wrecked them. And they turned to alcohol and drugs after the fact. Alcohol and drugs were the pain medication for their dealing with the loss of their loved one. Yes, the answer is yes, that happens. So there's many reasons that people come in. But here's one of the things I want to. Somebody said the other day, well, I read this report from some organization, some homeless organization, that said the rent's too high, that's why there's homelessness. Well, yes and no. The rent is too high, but if you're doing drugs and you're drinking and you're abusing alcohol, you're not going to have money to pay rent. Okay, so don't confuse that. That's why it's important to get somebody clean and sober so they can work, and then they take their paycheck and they're spending it on the right things, instead of get their paycheck and go out and buy a couple bags of dope or a couple cases of alcohol, and before you know it, within the first 3 days after their paycheck, all the money's gone. And of course they're going to lose the rent, because they're going to not pay rent, they're going to feed their addiction. So let's get people clean and sober, and then the addiction is dealt with, and then the money will be there for the rent and other things. So it's possible, because we have guys that are dealing with addiction all the time, and gals, and once they get their addiction to where they're managing it and controlling it in the sense of being held accountable and staying clean and sober, they get apartments and they do well. It's amazing how they do well all of a sudden, because they're not spending all that money on drugs.
Go ahead and finish up, please.
No, drugs ain't cheap. I mean, and if that's going to be your first, what I'm going to do with my check, well, then you're not going to have rent money.
We have a minute left, Tim.
Yeah.
I'd like to bring you back before Christmas, if that's okay with you, by the way.
Yeah.
But just for the minute, tell folks what you need at the mission right now and how to get it there.
Yeah, well, right now, really, we need cash donations, because it's the end of the year, and we've been hit with a lot of bills and a lot of stuff. So if you go online, hit MartinsburgUnionRescueMission.com, hit that donation button today. But we'll take all donations, all food, all clothing, all shoes, all that kind of stuff. And we're really thankful to the community here, you guys, for what you do, letting us get it out there. And we minister to everybody. You'd be shocked that people come through our doors and the entertainment we receive every day. It's good. But God bless you all. Thank you for having me on, and it's really a great opportunity.
No truth to the rumor that if people give you cash, it has to be in $5 denominations.
That's right, $5 denominations. That's right.
To be any denomination.
And I'll be on the medium by Chick-fil-A here real soon.
Thank you for coming in, Tim.
Oh, thank you.